Yo, what is good, my anime faithful? What is good, yo? JoJo. I swear this show somehow always just destroys my expectations of what I expect to happen in every episode. And they just always try to find a way to go beyond it and somehow succeed every single time. This week's episode, we straight up see that one of our characters could straight up take uh 3 bullets to the head. 3, not just one, but 3, and that's mainly because of his stand that was still in the chambers. So when every bullet was shot out simultaneously, he was let out and also had ice on him. When he came out after getting the bullets, he found the ice that was hidden in the hat to keep the aging process from going up. But if we go off of the same, if we go off the same logic that we were just told about Zipper Man, is that Mistas, when he's been using all of his stands, his body should have been getting a lot warmer. But from what I could tell, that didn't seem to be the case. So maybe because of the way his stands work, like they're not as attached to him as others. So maybe that's why it didn't warm up his body temperature as quickly. But yeah, the man, the man gets straight up bodied this week, and it was it was pretty sketchy to watch. And now that I'm thinking about it, like, this isn't Diamonds or Unbreakable, so you can't just run over to him and straight up start punching him in his head and heal him. So um, I think this might be a good time for our new main character, Geo, to maybe show us how powerful his stand really is and see if there's things he can repair, or by knowing like a certain thing, he's gonna figure out a way to save Mista. Because it's kind of sad that it seemingly was like the end for him. Like, it should have been a wrap for Mista's character, to be honest. Taking up what, 3 bullets to the head and being aged quicker because he got his arm grabbed. I mean, he didn't get aged that quickly because of the ice he hid, but as you saw later on, the ice started to lose its effect once you get so warm. So clearly it wasn't the case for Mista with his stands warming him up more, because he would have been dead, like he would have been gone. So that's an interesting little tidbit, but that's not where this episode, of course, ends. It goes all the way into these guys pretty much shooting Mista in the head, going into the train car, finding some guy has an intuition. He's like, there was something underneath the driver's seat that I wanted to check. Checks it, the turtle's not there anymore. Smart enough to move for some reason. Or maybe the boss can watch what's happening, or like can at least sense what's going on with the turtle for some reason, and boom, bam, he starts sending it messages to move. So I'm not really sure. But overall, man, holy crap, this episode was hype. Seeing the guy with the fishpole pretty much get outwitted because of the bullets was pretty cool. I thought that made sense because, I mean, the bullets itself is just like, they're pretty smart, but not to mention they're sketchy. All it takes is them to kick one bullet and you're about to die. So that's just how it goes. The other thing that really caught my attention was how much, like, different the two bad guys are. One guy is just completely seemingly useless once he feels like he's done something wrong, and The other guy pretty much feels like any and everything he does is probably going to be great, so he just kind of has the confidence to go through with all of it. So really interested to see what is going to be the outcome of them straight up jumping out the way that they did. So if anything, we might be seeing some crazy outcome for Bucciarati or Buccielli, the one that jumps out with the Zipper Man to save the crew and Trish. This man's a G. They're moving so fast that the guy who started the aging is completely freaking out about just the fact that they're gonna be jumping out of a bullet train pretty much, and that's gonna be GG. But with how this show is and with how smart these characters are, I highly doubt that's how Bucciarati or Zipperman stand user is gonna go out, because last time we checked, he can activate zippers very quickly. So the only problem is he's with the man that ages him. So that should still have a perfectly normal effect on him compared to everybody else who he's gonna be saving and they're gonna stop aging. But he would be with the guy still. So unless he unactivates his stand when they jump out, or somehow his stand was defeated, then they wouldn't have to worry about aging. But the person that's jumping out of the train with the man who's aging everybody is literally still, attached to him by like an arm and stuff. So not only is it speeding up his progression of aging, it is also now it's also going to stay with him even when he jumps out of the train. So I'm super into what's going to happen next week. I mean, a man survived 3 bullets to the head, so I don't think jumping out of a train with another guy who's aging you is that hard to compile a safety trip, seeing how the Capone, the leader of this group, seemingly is still the smartest, and not to mention he had the most. We know with our characters, or just JoJo characters in general, when they have enough information about someone's abilities, someone's tendencies, they usually take the advantage and somehow defeat them with it. And I don't think there's anything different with this fight that we're about to be seeing with him, like jumping out of the train and stuff like that. I mean, like I said, if you can survive 3 bullets to the head, like point blank, while you're on the ground aging, I don't think this is going to be that big of a deal. But that's just me. It could turn out that this be the first time someone in JoJo goes out relatively early that was in the main squad, but it's not like this is unheard of for people in the main JoJo squad to be taken out. So don't be surprised if it actually does happen, because in Diamonds Are Unbreakable that there was an occasion where someone literally bites the dust in the worst of ways. So it wouldn't be surprising to me, but at the same time, that character that did kind of pass away that was a part of the group wasn't nearly as important as like others. So kind of sucks to be that kind of character, but I feel like the characters in this series, all the ones that we have anyway, are all pretty relatively important, just in the sense of keeping us entertained with different characters all together. So I would love to see if that's where they're going with this, or if they have any plans to actually let some of these characters die, because unlike a lot of JoJo shows, I don't think many main characters die from battle. It's more like time and like they age over time from their crazy journey, and then they just die over time. So that I thought that was a very interesting way of showing us just like, hey, this isn't, this is kind of over, but it's not really over. Oh, he blocked it. Oh, he let go of his block. Trash. Um, but yeah, I really, really did enjoy this episode. I didn't really see or foresee a lot of this stuff happening, like the fish hook being defeated so easily. I thought that was going to be the main battle he was going to have to deal with, was the fish hook. After getting the fish hook out, what could the guy do? Or what could his stand do or something? But that wasn't the case. It literally was an old man who hopped on the guy with the fishing hook that kind of messed up his whole entire go at things. But then next thing you know, that same old man jumps on Mista and winds up being the bad guy who was even sent out the death thing. So he literally got to just watch how this guy with the fishing rod would react or how he would fight, and after seeing it, he literally got to, do all the hard work himself. So I don't know, man. JoJo is pretty ridiculous sometimes, and to see someone straight up get shot in the head 3 times and have the bullet stop before it hits something vital is pretty crazy, but it makes sense because the things that stop the bullets are practically our bullets, and like moving the bullets and stopping them from doing things is not far out of their range of what they can do. So it makes sense somehow, and that's what JoJo is really good for, is making sense out of things that seemingly are impossible to kind of like happen, and they somehow make it seem like you knew this much and this much, so it leads to this. Like, it makes sense. That's just really good storytelling on their part. But overall, guys, we are in for a treat. This show has been just going in, besides of course on the recap, but other than that, there's not been much like bad coming out of this show, in the sense of just battles or overall plots and stuff like that. Nothing's really caught my attention. I'm like, wow, this JoJo show is nothing like the others. It's not as good. It's not as this. I can't say that about this one. Like, it's very, very enticing. It's very thrilling. It's adventurous. It has all of the things that are just crazy about JoJo shows in it. Not to mention, we still haven't seen these characters get pushed to their full abilities, in my opinion. I feel like Gio has a lot to learn still about his stand, because he hasn't trained like any of the other JoJo characters we have seen with their stands. I mean, in Stardust Crusader, he didn't necessarily train at the beginning because there wasn't anybody really pushing him to be like, oh man, I need to understand my abilities even more. But to be fair, the man could stop time in Stardust, and in Diamonds Are Unbreakable, there was no time stopping for his stand. So by training and making sure his stand could do long distance as well as close distance, it just took me into a different opinion of stands and how the stands can be modified to be even better than they already are. Is why hasn't Geo done it? Or is this the whole thing with Dio's DNA, that once someone like him gets a stand, it's practically at its mastered ability at the jump, at the start, for some reason? Because if anybody knows Dio, he completely just stomps so many people with his stand. And from what I remember, I don't remember him ever training like extensively, going through different tasks to make his stand do different things better than it already could, stuff like that. And he was just naturally gifted with controlling the stand, and his stand was naturally like just broken. So maybe that's just the difference between the JoJo and the Dio trait of things. Like, depending on which one you come from, you gotta work a little bit for yours, or you literally just come with it gifted. So not really sure on that one, but I guess we'll find out soon enough if Geo gets stronger by training or if he just naturally gets stronger because he's broken already and there's not much training he can do because he's already pretty much married to his stand in a way. If you've seen his stances when he takes with his stand, you could think that they're a married couple. But yeah, guys, with that, I'm gonna end it there. I gotta get my hair cut, get my looks looking good, and try to pull an anime wifey, you know. So whenever I'm doing my videos, you guys can also have her to talk to too and see what her opinion is. That'd be hot. But yeah, I'm going to get out of here. I got an appointment pretty soon. So if I don't drop my videos until later, that is why. I definitely just got to go out, get my hair cut, and I'll probably even go to eat and stuff after that with my brother. So with that, my anime people, I hope you guys have a great day, evening, or morning, whatever the case you are watching this, and I will talk to you in the next one because we got we got date alive, and we got index that I'm going to be dropping. So 3 videos are coming all together after, or 2 more videos all together after this one. So yeah, if you guys wouldn't mind dropping some support for those videos after they come out, it will be greatly appreciated. So have that notification bell on if you're subscribed to me, and you will be instantly notified once my next video drops. So with that, everybody, peace.